I'm Jo Hill. This short video shows you how to use my appliqué fabric panels. These 5 embroideries are examples of the types of designs that can be achieved using the panels. Appliqué is the technical term for attaching one layer of fabric onto another. These designs are bullfinch, long-tailed tits, robin, blackbird, this one's my favourite, and pheasant. They're all printed in England on 100% cotton. The designs are prints taken from my original embroidery artwork. Take your panel, turn it face down onto your ironing mat, place your transfer adhesive paper rough side down onto your fabric, making sure none of it overlaps your panel or it'll stick to your mat. Then iron it in place, turn off the steam setting. When it's cooled, peel off the backing paper and keep it safe for later use. Cut out your birds and flowers. Be creative. You can leave some of the background around the edge of your motif if you wish. This gives you room to stitch onto later. Most of my work is inspired by British wildlife. This one I'm demonstrating is for a wall hanging, but you can add them to any textile project you wish: cushions, lampshades, bags and clothing. I've hand painted the background of this linen fabric with fabric paints. Arrange the shapes on your chosen project and play around with the design until you're happy with it. Make sure any stems to flowers have a place to go. Iron in place. It's a good idea to use a protective layer. This could be the paper backing from the transfer adhesive sheets you've just pulled off and kept safe. That's what I'm using. Make sure they're all stuck down. If any come unstuck, you can use a glue stick or re-iron them in place later. If you want to map out your design and have a guide to stitch over, now's the time. Draw on your stems using a heat vanishing pen. These lines will iron off later. Now head to your machine. I'm using a thick, strong black thread for this project. You can stitch stems and straight lines with your normal sewing foot. This helps you get a lovely straight line. I often work from the top of the flower down to the very bottom edge of the fabric. Trim off any ends of threads. When they're all done, attach the embroidery foot to your sewing machine. Lower the feed dogs on your machine and place your fabric in your hoop to stretch it taut. You may need to refer to your machine's user manual as every machine varies. This now means you can draw with your sewing machine. Cut off the starting thread after a few stitches as it gets in the way. You can do as little or as much free motion stitching as you want. Try and keep your fabric square on to your machine. There's no need to turn it. The machine should be running quite fast, but you can keep your hands fairly slow. This video is speeded up. When you've finished stitching in one area, you can move your hoop across your work without taking it out from under your machine needle. You may have noticed my machine cuts the threads for me, and I use a knee lift to lift the foot up to keep my hands free. A large flat bed makes it easier too. This machine is also semi-industrial, but most machines can do free motion embroidery. I would recommend you stitch all of the flowers of the same design, then move on to the next flower. Save the birds for last. Practice makes perfect. It is a skill that needs to get into your muscle memory. Trim off any threads and iron to remove the pen marks. It's a good idea to protect the stitching from getting too crushed with a layer of soft fabric. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you would like to see more of my work or buy some panels, go to my website, johilltextiles.co.uk. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Happy stitching! Bye!